You know what scared me the most about getting older? Not the wrinkles, not the slower steps, but waking up one day and realizing I had quietly become the kind of person people avoid, and I didn't even notice. And the craziest part? It didn't happen overnight. It happened through tiny habits, little attitudes, small reactions, the kind you brush off until one day someone stops calling, stops visiting, and you don't know why. I learned these lessons the hard way, and trust me, you don't have to. Today, I'm going to share the 12 ugly habits older adults fall into without realizing it. The exact ones that were quietly ruining my relationships, my happiness, and honestly, my dignity. If even one of these hits you, don't feel guilty. Just take it as a nudge, a gentle one, from someone who's already walked through it. Let's begin. 1. Becoming too negative. Without realizing it. I never thought of myself as a negative person. I was just telling the truth, or so I told myself. But then I caught myself complaining from the moment I woke up. My knee hurt. The world was getting worse. Young people didn't know respect anymore. Slowly, conversations ended faster. People stopped opening up. Even my grandkids visited less. I learned something the hard way. Negativity doesn't make people understand you. It makes them tired. How I changed, I forced myself to start every conversation with one good thing. Just one. A sunrise, a favorite song, a funny memory, and suddenly, people stayed longer. 2. Letting my appearance slip. I used to love getting ready. Bright blouses, brushed hair, a little perfume. Then one day I told myself, who am I trying to impress? And that was the beginning of a slow decline. Baggy clothes, skipping grooming, avoiding mirrors. But here's the truth. When you stop taking care of yourself, people assume you've stopped caring about life. How I changed, I started dressing every day like someone who still mattered. Because I do, and so do you. 3. Becoming stubborn and resisting anything new. I used to roll my eyes at new technology. Text me? Why? Just call. And then I wondered why my phone stayed silent. I wasn't being traditional. I was being difficult. Stubbornness doesn't protect your identity. It just locks you out of the world. How I changed. When my granddaughter said, "Let me show you how to use this," I finally said, "All right, show me." That one yes brought me back into the family conversations I didn't even know I was missing. 4. Holding on to too much stuff. I kept everything. Old letters, old clothes, old gadgets, old memories. But clutter isn't just objects. It's emotional weight. I realized this the day I tried to find something important and couldn't get through my own piles. How I changed, I started with one drawer, then one shelf, then one bag. With every item I let go of, I felt like I was reclaiming a piece of myself. 5. Losing patience. Too easily, I didn't notice I was becoming short-tempered until I snapped at a young cashier who was clearly doing his best. The embarrassment on his face hit me like a brick. I had become the kind of older person I used to dislike. Patience isn't just kindness, it's dignity. How I changed. Before reacting, I ask myself, does this really matter? Most of the time it doesn't. 6. Talking too much and listening too little. It hurt when my daughter said, "Mom, I love you, but sometimes you don't hear me." I realized I was using conversation as a stage, not a bridge. How I changed, I made a simple rule. If I've talked for a few minutes, I pause and ask, "And what about you?" It saved my relationships. 12. Forgetting to laugh or have fun life had turned into routines and quiet rooms. Joy felt distant. Then one night, A neighbor invited me over to watch an old comedy, and I laughed so hard I cried. I didn't realize how long it had been, how I changed. I started choosing joy on purpose. Music in the morning, funny videos, silly moments, lightness, and suddenly, I felt alive again. When I started shifting these little habits, not perfectly, just slowly, something incredible happened. People came back into my life. Conversations lasted longer. My home felt warmer. My heart felt younger, and the loneliness, it loosened its grip. Aging didn't feel like fading anymore. It felt like becoming. Now it's your turn. Think about these 12 habits. Which one sounds like you? Which one reminds you of someone you love? Change doesn't require big steps, just honest reflection and one small shift today. If this video touched you even a little, tap the like button. It helps this message reach more people who need it. And if you want more videos like this, filled with real stories and real lessons, subscribe and stay with me on this journey. Growing older is inevitable. Growing wiser is a choice, and you don't have to do it alone.